Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Stamp Together Saturday. We have been here, this is our 260th time together, and I think it's pretty special that we keep on doing it, and it's as popular as ever. So, yay us! Woohoo! We're going to make another great card today. In fact, when I was cutting mine, I thought, holy moly, this is a lot of pieces. Are we going to be okay? The answer is yes. We are going to be okay, and it's going to be amazing, and you're going to love it. And you're going to want to look for more designer series papers that look good with this card. So it's going to be fun. Welcome to all those who are popping on this morning. Hi, Lynn. Great to see you. Jan, great to see you here too. Especially after having met you at Onstage. I think that's pretty cool. Becky, hi. Stacy, good morning. Who else is joining? We'd love to hear from you. Carla, good morning. It's great to have you too. Pat, so good to see you here. We, after 259 episodes, we have switched, well, I have switched it up a little bit in that I am aiming to have the instructions for Stamp Together Saturday up by Monday. Good morning, Karen. And that is creating problems on my end. I actually came down in the studio this morning at about 10 after 9, and all of a sudden I went, I have zero idea what we're making. I have nothing cut. And I refreshed, I did a refresh on my computer, and so I have no idea, where it is that I found the card even. So anyway, it was interesting. I found it, but it was an interesting morning. I'm like, quick, I gotta cut paper. So great to have you all. We did not get the 100 clicks on going or interested to do a giveaway. We might have to shrink that down a little bit. Hi, Roxanne. Because we're hitting about 50 and we need 100 for a giveaway. So tell your friends or I'll just shrink it down. Stay tuned. But today we're going to make a great card. It's got a lot of steps. You will need your trimmer yet. We have not cut everything yet, believe it or not. So have your trimmer handy. Can't wait to see your cards in the comments below when we are done. So let's get started. Good morning, Jan. Good to have you here. As you maybe knew or maybe didn't, some of you did because we're friends on Facebook. I was at, my husband and I were at Air Supply last night. Holy smokes, was that fun. We had a good time, and those guys can still rock. It is amazing. So just so much fun. You can click going ahead of time. That's what I thought too. There are so many people that watch, over 1,000 watchers each week. And yeah, I feel like we can reach that 100. So, okay. Here is the DSP that I am using today. It is so beautiful, and I'm not always a yellow lover, probably because I'm light complected and don't really have any yellow in my wardrobe except for Packer stuff. So, but I love it. I love it in paper, and this paper is incredible. So I decided to use it again today. And we had, like I said, so many little pieces to cut. Holy smokes. Who is ready? Who is off to the races with me this morning? It is perhaps going to be a teeny bit longer than some of ours, simply because it is just a lot in general. So we are going to start. Can you grab out your DSP pieces? Uh-oh, I'm missing one. That's fun. I'll have to cut another one. I don't know where it went. I literally just cut them. So I'll have to cut another. But we've got our 4 pieces. I told you one of the pieces to cut 2 squares, 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. And then, yay, Karen. Good. Carla, woohoo. And Kathy, yay. So I told you to cut 2 of the squares in half diagonally, and then 2 more pieces, one of each, one of which, doggone it, I will have to cut again. Okay, so you've got these 4 triangles right here. Those we don't have to do anything to. So I'm going to just put those aside because we're going to use them as is. Now I need to cut one more of these because for some reason I lost one along the way. I did take a handful of trash and throw it away. So I'm wondering if maybe it was in there. Okay, so we'll just do like that. But we need our trimmer out yet because we're going to take these 2 pieces and we're going to put the long flat side up against our trimmer with our point in the cutting groove, and we're going to cut it in half again so that we've got tinier triangles. What? So we're going to do that to both of these. So in the end, we are going to have 4 triangles of each design, just some different sizes. So put the long edge up against the flat part of the trimmer here, and then your point in the cutting groove and trim. Okay. I will give you just a second to catch up. It's great to have several of you creating with me. I love that. It's always fun that you are trusting me with your design. You don't know what we're making, and yet here you are, and I love it. All right, so Tanya says she's just watching. That's awesome too. I'm so glad you're here. We're going to start next, we're going to continue with our book fold card. So I did say that in the event that we are making a book fold card. So it was no big surprise. So we're going to fold our card in half, and then there's another score line here, which is 4 1/4 inches from the edge here. And we're going to fold that back. And for me, I am going to have my card open this way, but you can do whichever you would like. Joan, I love that you slept in. You're my hero. Okay. Next up is the ribbon. And one of my favorites right now is this amazing white ribbon from oh my gosh, can I think of it? Texture Botanical Suite Collection or something like that. But we're gonna loop that around inside our card, and then we're gonna tie. I told you to cut 14 inches, which should be enough for a knot. But I certainly wouldn't try to talk you out of trying a bow either. So it can be any size ribbon that fits in this 1 1/4 inch space right here. I was going to use the Daffodil Delight skinny ribbon, and that coordinates with this DSP, and I just changed my mind. I wanted something that popped off the page a little more, so I went for the white. So then once you've got your ribbon in there like that, hi Anna, good to have you here. I'm just going to add my adhesive on the inside right over the ribbon and get that closed up. What does today have in store for everyone? Taxes for me. I really would like to nail my taxes down this weekend. So that's blah. And then, of course, I don't know if you saw when I had the front-facing camera, but I got my Duke shirt on that I bought at Duke, and they play tonight, so we'll be in front of the TV tonight. Okay, then I've got my old olive 4-inch square, which is going to go down here in this section right here. Now, what you could do up here is, and you can still even do that if you want to, you can just slip a piece of 1x4 DSP or cardstock or something in there. I chose to go with the plain top to keep my focus down here at the bottom. Then I am going to add my squares. For me, it is Daffodil Delight. Stacy, I don't disagree. So years ago, I was like, all right, at the end of every month, I need to sit down and I need to work on that month's expenses and income and stuff and get that all entered. I have this spreadsheet where I enter everything. Oh, yay for baby shower. Eek. And honestly, I discovered that I'm not capable of that. So, and I cried, like, it was like, this is horrendous every year. I hated it. And, finally, I was like, I'm not even going to make myself think that I could do that every month because it's not who I am. So I gave up on that dream and now I just do a weekend and done. So, my whole year's stuff all at once. Granddaughter's coming today. That's amazing. National Scrapbook Creative Memories Retreat. Woo, look at that. Super. Yeah, that's true. I agree with you on the pausing and stuff. That I totally get that. Did you know, and I know if you're a demonstrator, you probably knew this, that Stampin' Up! Is going to have a weekend retreat coming up in July. And I'll be posting more information about that. Oh man, I really ruined my Stampin' Seal. It's a weekend retreat where you'll make, I think it's 12 layouts. So watch for more information coming on that soon because that I think is going to be amazing. I don't think I'm free that weekend, unfortunately, but I might take the Tanya approach and watch at a later date. So, all right, so I've got all of my squares in order here. And then we're going to start adding our pieces. Now, I'm going to say that if you want to quilt it with an embossing folder, don't put that first layer on right away. Just keep that off and build the square off the paper. Once you have it built, then run it through your embossing folder. This one, I decided I'm not going to do that with this one. I'm just going to layer my pieces and it's all going to be good. So we're going to start with our largest squares or triangles first and try not to get too much glue, which I just did. And we're going to start by layering right here. And you can kind of see how this will fit together, but I suggest just laying this out. And the reason I'm using liquid glue is because I want to be able to shift. I want it to shift around. Okay, so you kind of gotta figure out how your pieces are gonna fit into these squares. All right, so I need to give it more room here. And then something like that. What do you think? Super cute. I love quilt cards, as many of you know. And so I'm just gonna, liquid glue is my friend in this case. And I told you when you came on today, we're gonna have a little bit longer of our time together simply because quilt cards, especially this one in particular, have a lot of pieces and take a little bit longer. So thanks for joining me. I decided to do this because I knew I had time today, which is awesome. Just putting off the taxes a little bit longer. Anna says the weather's beautiful. That's too hot for this girl. My daughter-in-law, which is so weird to say, by the way, my daughter-in-law messaged yesterday that it was 91 in Georgia, and I'm like, no. We're going down to Orlando for the incentive trip in May. I said, you guys need to get rid of that down there. I don't want it. None of it. Oh well, it'll be fine. Okay, so now this triangle here goes at a different corner. So it's kind of like you're doing a pinwheel. So if you would turn this square like this, that's how that triangle would end up to be. And then we're going to take this one next, and I got to make sure I do this right, because remember, it's like turning my square so that my triangles end up just a little bit different. And liquid glue allows me to do a little shift after I lay it down. So I love that. Daffodil Parade. Oh, how sweet, Joan. I love that in Washington State. Very cool. Hi, Carolyn. Great to have you. Oh, I screwed that one up. So now I waited too long. I talked too much. Tearing stuff apart. Surprise, surprise, everybody. It is your daily dose of Amy taking apart stuff. I do want to say, I have to tell you about an event I have tomorrow. It is an in-color comparisons event. So we are going to compare the new in colors with current colors and colors we have had in the past. Join me for that, but it's not here. You have to go to my catalog kickoff group, which is now the product kickoff, but it's still, you can reach me by finding facebook.com/groups/Amy Rich Catalog Kickoff. And I will put that link in the comments. No, you're not doing 80 of these. Definitely not. I wouldn't even encourage you to do that. Definitely not. This is a special one because it's 260. I had to do something a little special. You know, it's funny because every time I reach like a zero benchmark, it's like, oh my gosh, we've been doing it this long. And at 275, I'm going to have to make a big deal about it too, just because it's 275, you know? So the fun won't stop, and it's all good. And you're not going to be able to do 80 of these. I understand. No problem. No problem. Okay. So we're into square number 3. Very pretty. And my spacing isn't perfect, but you know what? It's okay. So join me over in my catalog kickoff group for that color comparison live event at 1 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. If you're not a part of that group, you're going to want to be, of course. We have big things coming up over there. And with the new catalog launching on May 6th, you're going to want to be a part of that group. So just some little tidbit of advice for you there. And I would be happy to welcome you into the group. So head over there and join. It's a pretty private group. We don't let just anybody in there. Hi, Darla. Great to see you here this morning. What a beautiful day when I looked out, it looked beautiful today. Hopefully. I know tomorrow is going to be really nice. My husband's like, yeah, I'm probably not going to be inside much tomorrow. He's an outdoorsy guy. He'll find something to do. Okay, check that out. Isn't that pretty? Look at the pinwheel action we've got going. I just think that is super fantastic. And I love the pop of Old Olive in there. It is so pretty. So this is it might be the longest Stamped Together Saturday on record, but I'm okay with that because it's just such a cool card. So now for my small shape, I'm just going to pop my circle here in the center. This is the second smallest from the Stylish Shapes dies. And then I'm pulling out a retiring stamp set that is on the last chance list, and that is keeping tabs. And I'm going to use Hello Friend here because it fits so well into that little space. And I'm going to do overkill with this block, but it's the one I had cleaned up and ready to go. So off we go with it. So a little bit of Old Olive for the Hello Friend. And then, of course, as always, I encourage you to embellish as you wish. There might be some adhesive back dots or rhinestones or something that you want to add. And then just bring out a Stampin' Dimensional, or 2 in my case, and add that to the center of your little quilt square here. So we've got not only a book fold, but we've also got a quilt card. So I would add a piece of 4x4 white in the middle, and away we go. So it was a little bit trickier today, but no less fun, I think. For those of you who played along with me today, put yours in the comments, put a picture in the comments when you're finished, because I want to see what you did. All right, I'm going to flip back. So although this is not a 80 card, it is beautiful, and I hope you love the quilt cards. There are certain people in my life that I'd like to give quilt cards to, simply because I know they'll appreciate that. And, you know, that's super cool. So thanks for joining me. I will be popping lots of videos on YouTube today and tomorrow. I actually, because it takes time to upload, I can do taxes in between. Okay, no judging. But lots of videos from Facebook that I'm popping up over there, so watch for those. I finally got my hour-long Be Mine Buy and Try class to download. Now I just have to upload it back up to YouTube, so watch for that. That'll be first coming your way. But thank you so much for joining me this morning. I will see you on tomorrow if you're in my catalog kickoff group for the color comparisons, and then Wednesday for What's Up Stampers. I'll see you then. Have a great day, everybody.